Sky Mavis has done a lot in the past year, both good and bad. Sadly, it was very hard to get into the heads of the creators of the game last year. If you are new to the game, you may be feeling confused and even upset. From blocking content creators to downplaying the economic crisis, the devs made choices that may not have seemed to be the right ones. However, after the very first Axie Infinity Twitter space, we now have some clear and defined insight into what the creators of Axie Infinity have been dealing with and what immediate plans they have to achieve their long-term mission. Some things have changed, while some stuff like leaking new info has slightly shifted. If you don't know what Twitter Spaces is, it's basically a live stream on Twitter, and Sky Mavis used it to do an Ask Me Anything and overview of the new economic changes coming in Season 20. This is their very first one, and all of this recap will be coming from a mix of notes and my head, since there's no Spaces recording available for this one. Correct me in the comments if I misinterpreted something from the team or if I missed something important. Now let's dive in. One of the biggest things I want to point out about Sky Mavis' mission is that it is a long-term one. I couldn't find a definitive number, but most AAA games take 3 to 5 years to complete, and imagine the budget they are working with. If you don't know what a AAA game is, it's basically something like Activision, like a company that has a lot of money and a lot of resources to build a game. Axie started in 2018, and their plans will not truly come to fruition until well after 2028 in my opinion. There are several reasons for this that we will talk about in this video, but the main one is how big Sky Mavis' goals are. For example, during the spaces, the co-founder of Axie Infinity mentioned several times that they will definitely overthrow Riot Games at some point in terms of popularity. To put that into perspective, Riot Games was founded in 2006, almost 16 years ago. If you don't know who Riot Games is, maybe this will help. Compare the numbers and remember that Sky Mavis is playing the long game. Another reason for this is that Sky Mavis is building out a universe that will take quite some time. Despite this, they have openly acknowledged they made mistakes and have taken a step back to fully open up to the community. Sending out an email for feedback was one of the best first steps to accomplishing this. This feedback helped pioneer the changes we're seeing today. For example, just comparing these two dev update changes, you can easily see just how much more detail we're being provided already. Be sure to stick around because all of this will make more sense by the end of the video. In short, the entire Twitter space was an apology to the community and open transparency into what the next move will be. There were so many great Q&A, I couldn't possibly cover them all here, so please be sure to attend the next one. The Axie team really wants to connect with those invested. Sky Mavis has a strong mission statement for the universe they want to create. It will help you understand the long-term investment you will be making if you decide to play or invest in the game. This is an extreme oversimplification, so please check their white paper for full details. To summarize, Sky Mavis' mission can be broken down into 3 main parts: onboarding, educating, and retention. For starters, Sky Mavis is focused on onboarding new players not only into Axie Infinity, but also into the crypto space in general. It's important to the team to bring as many people into the crypto space as they can. In fact, this is the main reason for Axie being the main IP. Looking at the popularity of Pokemon, you can probably guess why they did this. The game and ecosystem that Sky Mavis builds will develop around this first pillar as well as the others. Once they get more people into the space, they want to focus on education. This will be educating players about the Sky Mavis ecosystem as well as about crypto and Web3. It is amazing that one of Sky Mavis' goals is to show the world the beauty of truly owning your assets using crypto. This goal is noble. Lastly, the games created by Sky Mavis will always focus on retention. Bringing players into the space and educating them is only part of the puzzle. Players must have a reason to stay. That's why games must always be developed with fun in mind. Making a game that is first and foremost fun to play will always help give long-term sustainability. One thing to note is that this also includes skill gameplay. Creating a strong esports scene is also just as important for player retention. When people are coming back every day with knowledge on the game, ecosystem, and crypto, then they will be more likely to keep coming back and ultimately reinvesting in the ecosystem. These pillars are important for all future Sky Mavis changes and decisions as they will help build a healthy economy over the next 10 years. This leads directly into the biggest mistake that Sky Mavis made and addressed during the Twitter space. Diverging from this mission statement and succumbing to hype and the narrative of universal basic income from playing the game, this led to massive success in 2021. The success, however, came with downfalls. So many misconceptions about the vision behind Axie started to emerge, and people invested into an ideal that did not align with Sky Mavis' true vision. This new ideal was, Axie is a money printer, build and bring as many scholars in to make as much money as possible. In reality, Axie is a universe of experiences that if you're lucky enough to have an Axie, you can participate in with your friends. See how radical those two are? This didn't stop the narrative from drowning the devs' real vision though. Out of nowhere, a large number of the players in the game didn't actually own any assets in the game. In addition to this, the team wanted everyone to truly understand just how much a simple burn mechanic change can be. Having an idea and then taking that idea to the dev team will result in questions like, what feature is most important right now, or we have no time for this. I am a software dev myself, and whenever a request of a feature comes in to me, I also know just how hard it can be to just shift my focus and focus all in on that new feature. A lot of times it's not that simple. A lot of people have to come in to approve that request. It's also important to note that the current Axie Infinity game we are playing right now was made by 5 people. If Origins was really to bring in the players it needed, it was important to reinvest time in building the core of the game. The team took the major amount of money it made last summer to expand the team and build a new game with over 40 members. Think about how long it takes to hire good talent. A long time from my personal experience. From rebuilding the team and updating the graphics to 3D, there was little time to waste. Ronin actually got internally delayed 6 times before they could set on a hard date. Consequently, this also caused land to be delayed. These are just a few of the challenges the team had to prioritize as opposed to implementing certain burn mechanics. There wasn't enough manpower. A small team that is growing to try and meet the demand of the game is incredibly hard. The mistake was in not being open and honest about all of this information that was revealed during this very first Axie Infinity Twitter space. Despite this, during the Twitter space, one community member offered thanks to the Sky Mavis team for the incredible hard work that they have to put in to accomplish all of the tasks they need to while having limited, albeit growing, resources. I agree with this member. You're doing amazing, Sky Mavis. Thank you, and remember to rest when you can. This is a brief excerpt, but the Axie team also hired a developer from Niantic, the creators of Pokemon Go, and he came in immediately advocating for the team to be more transparent with updates. So know to expect more transparency in the future. So how does the team plan to fix the economy? By telling everyone to smash the like button on this video to support the channel. No, but for real, they are cutting the rewards you get from Arena and starting their initiative to reward players with AXS. 300,000 players will receive some AXS at the end of Season 20, a pool valued at around $6 million at the time of this recording. With this, they are also removing adventure and daily quest rewards. Don't worry though, these will come back in Origins. They also have the Axie Builder program, where the community will be empowered to provide burning mechanisms for the Axie ecosystem. But the main thing Axie Infinity will be doing to heal the economy is focus on Origins. G-Host now believes we have enough SLP in circulation to properly manage the insurgence of new players that come in when Origins is released. This SOP is crucial so that there is no way a player that wants to play will have issues finding an Axie. They are counting on the breeders for that. SOP was only part of the equation though. Psychow confirmed that the team has a large budget to go towards advertising as well, and if you haven't seen my video about the marketing team that will be advertising for them, you should really check it out, it's a good one. What I got from G-Host during the Twitter space is that they have to prioritize certain things, and it didn't make sense to update V2 of the game at all when they would be better off putting all resources into Axie Infinity Origins. My guess is Origins will release with several burning mechanics baked in. The team also spoke on changing their energy system. They mentioned how weird it currently is and how it doesn't incentivize people to want to own more than 3 Axies unless they want to go ahead and buy enough to reach 10 Axie and get an energy bonus. The new energy system is designed to give more utility to Axie while also making it easier to be flexible in scholarship programs. Many questions were asked about guilds and scholarships. The responses, of course, align with the mission statements we covered earlier. When asked about scholars leaving, the team recommended looking for scholars who are also gamers and want to invest in the game itself. There was lots of discussion on the placement of scholars in the ecosystem. If you think about it, scholars themselves go against the main and core value of Sky Mavis. Psychow even pointed out during the Twitter space that scholars don't put in value, they only take it out. And that is absolutely correct. It was interesting to hear this perspective from Psych Out. This is a complex issue because the game doesn't give much incentive to do more as a scholar, but again, I think this changes with Origins. It's hard for the game to survive if people are only joining in for the money and not putting money in. Thus, the game must drive their initial mission. This ultimately will affect every scholarship program around. Guilds must shift their focus if they haven't already. They want managers to focus on bringing in skilled players to the game. Players who can provide valuable feedback to balancing game mechanics and understand the core economy of what they are playing in. Gone are the days of thinking about Axie Infinity as a business anyone can partake in. It is clear that the team no longer wants to push the universal basic income narrative, and it makes sense. They are focused on making the game fun and competitive. Other experiences will be available in the future to handle the fun part, but as of right now, the narrative that never fit into Sky Mavis' true ideals is gone. If you are to be in the Axie community right now, it will be vital for you to compete and be as good at the game as you are, or you just won't earn as much. As time passes, more opportunities to participate in the Sky Mavis universe will reveal themselves. Patience is key. Now let's talk about governance. It's coming. One thing about SLP is that it was never meant to be a big token. In fact, during the Twitter space, both G-Host and PsychOut stated that SLP was never meant to be the true reward token for playing the game. AXS was. You see, SLP has only one utility, and that's to be used in breeding. However, AXS gives you control over how the game develops in the future for years to come. It's a special reward that you should cherish if you obtain. When asked when would the community be able to fully make decisions for the game if they hold AXS, the Sky Mavis team responded stating that they are in research and development stage right now and that it is one thing that takes time. It can be complicated because of another one of their visions, to create targeted governance. G-Host spoke during the Twitter space of the fact that they want to provide governance in a way to which the people providing the most value in one area has the most say in that area. For example, if you're a top 3 on the leaderboards for 3 seasons in a row, you should have more voting power, but specifically in decisions about card balancing and game mechanics. Or if you had LAN and participated in LAN events often, you would earn more power in voting on LAN issues. So with that, the team thinks it will take some time to truly come up with a way to make that work well in a space where it's never been done before. G-Host also mentioned wanting to do something similar to the Axie Builder program, but for more non-technical contributors. He wants something like an Axie community program where content creators are given the support they need. He mentioned sometimes it may feel like they are siloed or alone, and I agree with that. Alright, so we're in the thick of it, but the last thing, remember that Origins and Land are 2 different things. Think of them as 2 completely separate games or experiences. If you own Land or if you own an Axie, you automatically have access to enjoy and experience Land when it releases. Origins will be released as a separate app in the Mavis Hub, so will Project K, otherwise known as Land. These will stack right under Battles V2, the current game we all know and love, as that will stick around for a little after Origins' release. Origins is Axie's next major step into the mainstream audience. Origins will bring a lot of highly requested features, improved high quality AAA graphics, animations, new game modes, and more. Geo stated that he's been playing Origins or Battles V3 every single day and seemed very eager and ready to talk more about how the new game will play. He mentioned that it was smooth and played so much more strategically. I can't remember specifically what game he compared it to, but I want to say it was either Gods Unchained or Hearthstone. He also mentioned the pace of battles are especially unique because you pick a card and see the attack happen in real time. I almost wonder if battles will be more async in nature or if there will be multiple new battle modes introduced in Origins. Oh, another thing you might not know is that crits will be getting a complete rework in Origins. Axie Infinity Origins will also introduce one of the most important features for long-term sustainability, vertical progression, otherwise known as a vertical sync. Right now in Axie Infinity, the only way to progress in the game is really to climb the leaderboards, breed, or buy more Axies. This is known as horizontal progression or expanding. There are no mechanics in Axie right now to work on assets that you already own. This is where vertical progression comes in. Using SLP to upgrade your Axie, you will be able to consider choosing more stats and effects for your Axie, allowing for more investment in your one Axie. This not only increases the value of your Axie, but lets you strategize more about your team composition, abilities, and position. Think of something like a skill tree where each part can be upgraded with SLP and gain new abilities. check out this video by Axie Faction where he dives into more of these vertical progressions. Origins will also come with new burning mechanics that will be released over time. The only thing stopping Origins right now is a team working to ensure the servers can handle another massive growth in players. G-Host confirmed that the internal goal is to release Origins in early April with iPhone and Android support. Hope you enjoy your free starter team then. The true beauty of Web3 is owning our own assets. There is so many other things mixed into this crazy space, and Axie aims to remove that barrier of entry. At the end of the day, having a safe and fun place to interact with others while learning about the technology that gives power to the people is what Axie Infinity is truly after. Building an easy entry to the world of crypto. That is the true long goal of Axie Infinity. Now hit that like button and press that big red subscribe button to see more of my videos in the future. You won't regret it. As always, I love you guys and keep going.